So here's the thing. This was all. I mean, this is. I think you've positioned it very well. There's going to be somebody out there who catches wind of this, and their immediate response is, "Okay, well, I had nothing to do with that. My family had nothing to do with that. We're immigrants, or what have you. We landed here in like 1920, 1870 something. It's well, 1870 something. You probably did have something to do with it. But so let's say 1940 something, 1950. Let's say you're most people are just saying, I don't want to have something besmirch this joyous holiday of me not celebrating some aspect of American history, but rather me celebrating the uniting of my family and friends and the giving and the sharing and all the goodness that comes with
Have
the
your
holidays.
Thanksgiving.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like what?
But that's what I said. But that's what I just said is you can still have your Thanksgiving. But in the beginning, what I had said is you cannot continue to retell the lie in schools. Have your Thanksgiving. Give your thanks to your family.
Well,
do that.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is how do you, we have a battle right now going on, especially at the lower education level, like at your elementary schools. This is the argument that parents will come with. They'll say that.
Are you? So I'm sorry. Yeah. Are you about to tell me that Americans can't find a way to celebrate on a day of mourning? Because I'm pretty sure we have Memorial Day weekend,
which is used as a thing to white flag wave all the people who've survived the war, not necessarily.
No, that's Veterans Day, right? Memorial Day is to honor those who have fallen.
Dude, Memorial Day is like you come back from some sort of beach vacation.
No, listen. I'm not saying that we are commemorating the holiday correctly, and that people don't even know the difference between Memorial and Veterans Day. But what I'm saying is the idea that someone cannot.
They can't, because I'm
the
letting
idea
you know
of
they
giving
can't.
thanks to their family while also recognizing what.
First of all, you need
the hardships of Native Americans. Like, give
most
me
likely
a break.
not. Well, no, I'm being realistic here. I'm saying that most people are not capable of doing that. So I mean, I guess would you say what if there were two separate holidays? One that was about just getting together with family and friends for the sake of doing so. And then let's say we change Thanksgiving to be something that is more about, similar to, Black History Month or I don't know, something like that. We change Thanksgiving to be something that is more about, learning about Indigenous people, learning about ways that, we can, as Americans, we can sort of make an unjust just if there is even a possibility of doing so. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
that's fine. It's fine. But what's critical? All of that is fine. And maybe you'll agree when I say this. What's critical is that the truth is taught. I don't care what happens. It's almost like with humor, you find things less funny when you actually understand how it hurts, when you understand why something maybe is insensitive, right? You don't make fun of school shooting victims, right? Most people wouldn't laugh at a careless joke made about them because it's a tragedy and it's not funny. And maybe after learning about this stuff, shifting around the holidays while still keeping a day for Thanksgiving, adding or shifting or whatever you want to do, reformatting it may not be that big of a deal because now you've educated an entire generation on the truth. My thing is, we'll figure out the holidays. The truth needs to be taught. The truth cannot live and die within Indigenous peoples, cultures, and communities in like a closed circuit sort of way. Like the fact that I'm reading this stuff and I'm learning stuff for the first time is I mean, I could say it's appalling, but it's sad. It's like, why haven't I been taught this? Why didn't I know this? Why don't I know it now? Why am I having to find it out on my own? And to add, it's not even new information. This is stuff that's been handed down for generations with these people who have been afflicted by this, that suffer this today. So I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. Why not make the knowledge more broadly known? That's the thing. Nothing's really. I have not heard anything that's contesting this within like the
no, there's nothing
discipline of history. The historians, there's no contesting any of this. So why isn't it being taught? I mean, I know why, but like, why?
I wish I could. All I was trying to do here was just to have you say exactly what you just said, because you need to flesh these things out, because the knee-jerk opinion, look, we still fight over Columbus Day. The Italian American League is up in arms over the lessening of that holiday. They don't think that the one Italian American of particular note should be besmirched just because they happen to be a monstrous slave trader.
That's what I'm kind of saying, though. And maybe, I don't know how it is with that, but are we focusing on the wrong part? Does the holiday come after? Does the education come first? If you go in hot and say, I'm changing this holiday, but no one really knows why, is that the cart before the horse?
That's a good point. I actually think that's a really good point. That's a great point. Yeah, you're right. If you teach generations about Thanksgiving the proper way, sure. Again, but this is why I started to bring up the way that, but the people who have not been taught this, okay, who are just coming into it as, why are you taking away this holiday?
I got it. Yeah,
they're the ones who they're going to be
the
school board,
the loud minority.
Yeah,
right?
they're the loud minority. They're the ones who like to run for school board, whatever, and they're the ones who are burning the books, or saying that this book who teaches the proper way that Thanksgiving was went down is banned, and I prefer this book that just talks about turkeys and peaceful pilgrims.
I don't have
that's
I don't have the answers.
So I was like, how do we get past that? How do you get over that hurdle?
I mean, tough. I mean, the realist in me is like, tough. Sorry that real pain is trumping your hurt emotions. I mean, I'm tempted to call them snowflakes. Like, are you kidding? Like, you don't want the fantasy blemished by reality. So you want to ignore the very real pain and suffering that people living today are feeling and have to deal with. That they have to choke back their truth in school, K through 12, because the teachers have been instructed to say these things about this holiday and this part of history when they know it's wrong, because it may hurt someone's feelings and may sour the taste of turkey in their mouth. Like, I don't know what to say to that. And when it was really, because it's like anything, right? It's like you hear people talking on TV, and when you know something is not true, and you're like, that's a lie, and they're saying it on TV, and it's like, that's not true. That must be infuriating. When awareness was raised with me through reading this stuff, that kids were knowingly sitting through school and had to be silent because they're probably the only Indigenous person maybe in that classroom, and they have to sit through the false narrative that's being fed to them every time they go over this topic, because it is the patriotic story of this nation for the reasons that we just went over. We needed a founder's myth, and we got one. And they know it's fake. They know it's a lie. And they know it's not even just like a misrepresentation, but it is built on the back of atrocity that we've never recognized or won't do it in any way that's meaningful. I cannot imagine being a student. I cannot be a student. I don't even want to soften it that way. I cannot imagine being a child and knowing that something was a lie, and you having to see kids learning the lie and repeating it and celebrating it. I don't know what to do with that.
I think that's a really good point. I think that's a really powerful, you're evoking a very powerful imagery with regard to that. So, I mean, I think that, I know, not think, I mean, the more people who talk about it, the more ubiquitous it becomes, and the more the harder the calls for, having the president the president pardon a turkey be the main event of the holiday, along with a parade. That is as you shift the consciousness, the things might change. That's what I'm saying. That's where you need to get to. We
have things to give thanks for. We've made strides as a nation. We've done things. We're still things left to do, but there is plenty to celebrate in terms of giving thanks, especially in your own personal thing. But if you want to do a national holiday, there's plenty that we can celebrate.